Picks.com with you here Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Denver Live free picks for today's action. So make sure you like and subscribe and set notifications as we give you plenty of picks here on the show and throughout our channel as we load this channel with lots of free picks. So you definitely want to subscribe, and you can set notifications so when we're live, you're live with us. When you get the plays, you get them in real time, you get the best numbers, and let you know a bit about our site. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and get signed up. Also, love to hear from you guys, so you guys can go ahead and post your picks in the comments below. And our website, it's Tony'sPicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to some of our long-term passes there. You'll see many of them up there on the board. Like Ramon has been on absolute fire. Mindy's been hot as well. Pravi as well. Click the links, get signed up to long-term passes. You can see many of them up there with plays for today. Our best bets, well, each capper can release one best bet per sport per day. Many up there right now. You see Ramon in here with a Friday night best bet. Mindy as well in action. So we got plenty of action for you here today for a Friday. Our $15 premium pick. Each capper can designate one of their pick from their card as a $15 premium pick just to introduce their service to new and existing customers. You can see many of the cappers want to make that really good impression as you see that best bet there coming in at that $15 price point. Our 3-packs plus many plays up there from you right now. It gets Ramon in the action with college basketball. 5-pack, Mindy in action. I've got a 3-pack from the NBA and more up there on the site. You can see many of the cappers are ready to roll. Now, if you would like to purchase your picks a la carte, you can do that too on our pick ticker, which showcases the games here by time order here. So these are the next games that are starting up. Paul has one that starts in 4 minutes. You can see there. So does Nick. Our pick ticker features purchasing plays a la carte with team versus team information. And remember to use that promo code TonyT to save that 20% off. All right, let's get this one underway. Mindy with the afternoon off, so let's go ahead and bring in Ramon, who's been on absolute fire over on the site. Ramon, what's happened? You've been on fire, I think, 2,300 units the last 7 days.
Yeah, still celebrating my birthday, right? I mean, that's what I don't know what else to say, Tony. Yeah, no, it's been a pretty good run right now, and higher volume. You know the way I work it. I mean, if the streak's going well, I do step up the volume a little bit. Nothing outrageous, just gradual increases. Like I think maybe that should be the philosophy of a lot of bettors that deal in high volume. You dial it back if you're not seeing it well. If you are seeing it well, press the button a little bit. That's what we're doing right now. Maybe not today so much. I don't know. I'm kind of concerned, but we do have some plays for you today as well.
Well, I got to give you credit because I saw that play. We were both on the same play this morning. I was struck. How in the world is Pittsburgh getting 6.5 against North Carolina? I know they had issues with their point guard, but he hasn't really been too productive for the Panthers team.
Yeah, it just seemed that Pittsburgh, I don't want to say it was a slow start necessarily. I thought they played well throughout. They did just kind of miss their field goals. They were open in the first half and just kind of weren't making those field goals. And then once Carolina kind of we're stumbling late a little bit. Pittsburgh actually had some crowd momentum too, and that kind of carried them down the stretch. They went right past them, really.
Yeah, Pittsburgh off to a hot start. We were talking a little bit about the Panthers. So hot start so far, and in conference play as well. So we'll keep an eye on that team. And of course, North Carolina will continue with the issues on the road. Tonight we're going to the NBA. A really good competitive matchup here between the Sixers and the Pelicans. Sixers going to be about a point favorite, but the total sits 229.
Yeah, Tony, I think we can, put away the notion that the Pelicans are a young team that I'm not saying a fluky start at all or overachieving. I think we could just put them right up there with the best teams in the Western Conference, especially with the way Williamson has matured, if you will, and the way he's playing right now. Just terrific, certainly elite at this point. And it's going to be a good matchup. He doesn't necessarily match up with Embiid. I mean, leave that to Valanciunas. But, yeah, great matchup here, Sixers and the Pelicans. We know the Sixers were hot. They're still hot. They had that winning streak snapped against Washington. We had Washington as a premium in that game, so we know what's going on here. Sixers still good. Have some vulnerabilities on the road. And look, the perception might be two young, I don't know about young teams with Philly, but very good teams. And we've already seen the steam come in on the over here, 229. But let's not forget. I mean, these are two of the top five teams in adjusted net defensive rating. Both teams allowing about 110 points per 100 possessions. That'll put them both in the top five in the league. I think Philly's number three, New Orleans is number five in those categories. So, Embiid certainly playing well offensively, but you know what? He's a steals guy as well as a blocks guy. They call those stocks, right? And that's his versatility defensively, really. So, it'll be a good matchup. Certainly, the Pelicans can defend inside. There's no doubt about it. Valanciunas, he's kind of one of the best enforcers, if you will, with the inside defense. Good defense inside for the Pelicans. So I wasn't sure about the steam. I get it. Two young teams. I don't know, totals in general kind of being pressed again here on a Friday. Only, I think, two of the games on the 9-game card have seen any pressure to the under. This isn't one of them. So I don't know. I've got Philly certainly slightly above average, maybe offensively over the last month or so, despite all of their success, that 9-game winning streak that they had. They're going up against a very good defensive team. 4 out of the last 5 meetings in New Orleans between these two have gone under. A long-term trend for Philly is the fact that they've gone 20 and 42 to the under versus teams that play above a 600 winning percentage. So I think you've got a top matchup of teams here. I know it's East-West. Maybe that kind of lends also to an over, not a conference or divisional game where maybe the familiarity works a little bit in the favor of the defense. But, man, the Pelicans are doing it on both sides right now. No doubt about it. I think, if anything, if you look at the teams out west and their defense, right? I mean, New Orleans has to be up there, maybe as the top defensive club with these teams out in the West. So I think this one's headed under, Tony, 229. I think that steam to the over is actually just giving us a little bit of breathing room here in this one. I no doubt about it. Two young teams that can really get after it. Maxey will be back in this one. I don't know how much time he'll see in the game. I think that's my one concern for Maxey. I've seen a lot of people wanting to prop him up a little bit. I always want to. The prop people crack me up, Tony. It's either over or nothing, right? And I would think it'd be the other way around, especially for a guy like me. But on the shows, the quote always is, right, they're going to get their prop. That's what they always say. They're going to get their prop. When everything in a prop, it should always be over under. It seems like, in general, the betting media always wants to talk about reaching those prop totals. And I think it's such a, I don't want to say newfangled type of betting, but with the advent of the betting and everything, I think that's part of it. And it's always about reaching those numbers. And no one ever really talks about unders in that. And really, even for an unders guy like me, it's even more
I think what's happening here, it's basically you see a lot of these media journalists that are that are now in the industry. They are inexperienced. I think they feel they have the great wealth of knowledge just talking about props, because let's face it, it's easier to say whether a guy's going to hit his prop or not than actually having to do the actual work and research and trying to talk against the spread. A lot of these folks are looking for shortcuts. They're on the air too long. They got to fill time, and they feel that they have to talk about props because let's face it, it is not a minus 110 bet, and I stick to the minus 110 myself. And a lot of times, a lot of these these inexperienced people who are talking, sports betting, they gravitate to the props because it's just an easier handicap. And they feel when they go over, it mixes in the fanboys that come in and love to follow these players. They have their own jerseys and whatnot. And a good example was this Devin Booker, right? The Void Booker tweet that was out there. The guy has a groin injury. He comes back in. Do you think he's going to be 100%? Why the hell you play him over? I mean, these knuckleheads out there are crying about it. You would think it's simply with Maxey too. Why the hell would you play Maxey over? The guy's missed so much game time. You got to always worry about conditioning. Minutes may be restricted. Devin Booker, his minutes may have been restricted coming in from a groin injury. That's serious stuff there. I mean, again, it just boggles the mind.
Yeah, no, it's a great conversation, actually, Tony, and that was kind of in the back of my mind when you mentioned it, because that was everybody was whining, because the books have been very generous, right, with some of these games, especially in the high-profile games not returning from an injury, but maybe the quarterback gets knocked out, the star quarterback or something, and they give the refund. Great gestures. I mean, they're making hand over fist at this point, so no problem. But here, a guy comes off the disabled list or the injury report anyway, gets back in the lineup, plays 4 minutes, knocked out. Everybody whining on Twitter about, hey, give us our money back. You do it every other time a guy gets injured. Why not this time too? And it rubbed a lot of serious betting journalists the wrong way. The guys that I watch a little bit that have been doing it a long time. But yeah, maybe that's just it. You see a lot of people wanting to talk, and I'll talk matchups. I mean, for me, that's what I think about this game. I mean, if I was going to look. I'm giving out the under, Tony, no doubt about it, under 229. But, guys like Harris, Tucker, Embiid, they all have bad matchups with me against this New Orleans defense. And on the other side, I think C.J. McCollum, I think Marshall, it's hard to find maybe props on him, but he'd be a guy I'd look to go under. And I know Jones is going to be maybe a question mark to play, so you might not see any props on him, but he'll have a tough matchup too. So in this game, I'd be looking to paid these totals. I'd be going under on about 5 or 6 guys on some of these numbers.
Oh, here. Ramon, you're getting over the head of these prop players because they're looking. Well, he hit his prop 6 out of his last 9 times. He hit his prop. He hit that number. that's usually the scope of the cap when you hear some of these newer betting journalists talks about the props. Is they don't go. They're kind of what I call surface scanners. And now we're starting to, I used to say that a lot in the industry years ago. People didn't know what I was talking about. Now that we see a lot of inexperience in this industry, you kind of understand what a surface scanner is.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say, Tony, it's almost, 4 out of 5, even 9 out of 10 times, when betting analysts are talking about him, it's always over, over, over. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm in the wrong markets, Tony.
No, you're not. They're going to learn.
70 to 80% over the last 4 days, but maybe I need to branch out a little bit more. I should play more props and always be under. In fact, I do look, especially on the high-profile games when I'm really going to sit down and watch a Monday night. Yeah, I'll be involved in props. I'm not going to go down a full NBA card and maybe make only props. I mean, I'm old school. I like sides, totals, and maybe some money lines. But
also, too, you got to remember there's a lot of inexperience. People don't know. A lot of people don't know how to handicap, right? So they gravitate to whatever's easier. Let's take a look at his prop. Oh, let's look at his numbers. Oh, he hit, his number is 26. Oh, he got over 26. And in 5 of his last 8 games, yeah, let's go over. That's really what it is. It's basically for the folks to make an easy bet, almost like a lottery ticket, right? A quick pick. Remember the old new quick pick? I need some of them on the quick handicap. It's easy, so I'll gravitate to it, and may not always be the best value when you make the bet, because again, if you look at minus 110, that's the way to roll. But again, it requires a little bit of work on the bettor's part, research, watching games, looking at advanced stats, and sometimes being a stat hit.
And you got to think the books have to be one step ahead of that, especially in games where the total is already blowing up, right? Putting those numbers up there a little bit higher as well. I mean, they're not just using an algorithm, especially on some of these props. I would imagine there are some fine tuning. Believe it or not, I know you know this, but there are people inside those back rooms at those computers monitoring these numbers. It's not just some just take the average or whatever. They gotta weigh their liability and stuff like that too. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I just think that there's just too much attention being paid. And technically, Tony, half the handicappers should be not on the same prop necessarily, because good handicappers a lot of times are going to find the same answers, right? When we're talking about a game, it's kind of like when me and Mindy do the show. Maybe we have more agreements than disagreements because we are handicappers, so we should be able to see those bets that we want to make. But in general, if I'm making prop bets, I should probably have 50% under and 50% over when I'm talking in generalities and analyzing each individual prop for itself. So just interesting conversation. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, under today, Sixers and Pelicans. Now you're going to have me probably playing a few props on the side because I like several of these guys under today. It's going to be a tough ask necessarily. Maybe that's why it's not going to make my premium card, but I do think there's value because you see where that total opened, Tony, in
Mm-hmm.
this game. Really closer to, I want to say it was about 226 or so
Yes.
generally across the market. So
226 and a half where the open line offshore. That one opened 226 and a half. And of course, we're seeing that tick up here to 229 and a half in one of the sharpest books on the planet. So you're going against the heavy hitters in the offshore
hey,
world here.
I don't want to be at the top of the mountain on that one, but I'll take my chances here on this one. Again, I like that adjusted net rating. I mean, these are definitely two of the top five.
Well, I will say
And
this: you always got to look. It's always good to look at both sides, and sometimes you can always make. There was a good capper, a really experienced journalist that would say you always look at both sides. You can always make a case for your play and always make a case against your play. I will say this: the defense for the Sixers on the road is, I think, what comes in question when you kind of look at their defensive efficiency numbers away from home here. 76ers have lost 4 of 5 on the road, sitting 23rd in defensive efficiency, giving up 129 points per 100 possessions.
And I think also, if you looked in general at the Pelicans, I mean, trend wise, I mean, it's almost, if you look at those sites, with the do the work for it, it's almost all in the green. They're almost all over with these guys today. But I look at that net adjusted rating, long term over the season. I certainly have both teams allowing 110 per 100. But yeah, maybe there's been some vulnerability. But the Sixers in those streaks, they were still beating teams, certainly. And this is really one of the best defensive teams in the league, I would think, in the Pelicans, given their numbers right now. They're trending over. That's the funny thing about it. But they're still one of the best defensive teams because they have Valanciunas. He's quite the enforcer. I mean, he's an intimidating guy. He could play a villain in some of those movies.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Here we go. Ramon here. Again, I'll put the pick up there. 76ers Pelicans under 229, and this one will have a start time here of 9 Eastern time. Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com, where you've been on absolute fire here over the last 7 days. 2,300 units of profit. He's put up some monster numbers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Some quite the work there for Ramon. Perfect 3-0 day in the NBA last night. NHL 3-0. He's been on a tear right now the last 7 days. 1,300 units of profit in college hoops. 728 in NBA. Showing good profit NHL and college football. He's hitting on these major sports. All right, Ramon, what do you have going on over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, Tony, I know the subscribers are happy too because I've been flatlining a little bit. I've been putting up these big numbers over the last 3 or 4 days. Started off with like a 6-2, stepped up the volume, put up an 11-2, and yesterday put up a 15-5, and I just kind of increased the volume. Maybe they've had not frustration with me, but when you're just dealing 5-4s for a week or two, you're like, come on, Ramon, but you wait for those moments. No one lights up the leaderboard like I do here at Tony's Picks, Tony. There's no doubt about that. So got a one pick right now in the NBA. Here I am talking about how hot I am increasing the volume, but you go with what you feel. I mean, if it's not there, it's not there. Looking for more, but one game right now, Tony. It's my NBA best bet on Friday night for $25 over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT. You'll even save a little bit of money off of that. But maybe my main focus right here is going to be on the college card. You talked about it. We already hit Pittsburgh today. It wasn't easy, no doubt about it. Felt like they were in it all the way. Despite falling behind by 9 points early, going to come back with a 5-pack in college ball. I've been red hot there as well, maybe doing most of my damage in college basketball because these are the boards that you should be able to attack, these medium to large size cards where you can really go down. It does take some time to get through the entire card and try to find those spots, but I've got 5 plays today in college basketball. Probably not going to find any of these, Tony, on the major channels, but sometimes that's where you got to go to get the winners. So 5-pack in college ball tonight. We'll try to get some hockey in. There's just a 4-game card tonight. Found it pretty tough so far. So nothing yet, and that's one of my best sports. NHL, they're all good sports for me right now, seeing it well, but nothing yet on that 4-game hockey card. So got 6 plays in total. Sign up for my 3-day. That'll get you through the weekend right now, and I've got bowl action. That's really I've also made a ton of killing in the bowls. I can't seem to miss right now.
Yeah, the steam chasers are scoring.
That's right. That's what we covered, Tony, and going into today, I believe it was the moves had been through I think there's been 25, maybe 26 games now, so I might be behind in my statistics, but it was 18-7. If you chase the steam, if you missed the best number, that went down to a little bit to 15-10, but you'll take that every time. 60% is going to get you home as well. Unders, too, Tony, smashing right now, even though we did see some overs last night. Unders coming in close to 65% through the bowl season. So we'll see how that goes coming up with some of these games. We're almost, man, it's exciting. We're just a day away from those big games, and I know we're looking forward to those 2 games tomorrow, certainly. And I wish I had something for you there right now. I could deal with you there, Tony. But you know what? They're going to end up being premiums. These are high-profile games. I'm definitely going to be involved. Already am involved in one of the games on my package there. In fact, with my bowl package, I'll repackage up my bowls because with the game winning off, I do have them all a la carte right now. But I'll repackage the bowls, Tony, and maybe what I'll do is I'll include tomorrow's games as well. There you see it there at the bottom. I'm involved already. Ohio State and Georgia. And I'm also involved in all those other games. Of course, the Sun Bowl with the Bruins. I think that one just went off. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it's the bottom.
It's been we're almost into halftime in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tied up already for. I'm sorry. The SC South Carolina Notre Dame game is what I was thinking of. Yeah, I know we got already 14-14 in that pick game. So maybe I'll come back and repackage when we're talking about these bigger games with Clemson and Tennessee tonight, Kansas State and Alabama, and the 2 big games. And poor Iowa, Kentucky. Nobody's going to watch this game, Tony. They're expecting like 4 touchdowns and going right up against K-State and Alabama. Get my card for this weekend, though, the 3-day. That'll get you all the way through these big bowl games, through NFL action as well. Great time for the 3-day pass. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Yep, nothing says Friday afternoon, late December, like the Sun Bowl, Tony.
That's right, the Sun Bowl going off right now. I'll get on board with Ramon Scott. We'll put up the numbers again so you guys can see him. He's been on absolute fire here. 2,300 units of profit last 7 days. He's been on fire in all the major sports when you take a look at it. So get on board right now with Ramon Scott over at Tony'sPicks.com. We talked about the plays here. A 5-pack from college basketball up on the board right now, as well as NBA. Friday night best bet. He had some bowl games packaged in other packages. But again, probably your best value right now is that the way Ramon's running that 3-day pass. Get covered here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Ramon will be in action here with the bowl games. We got the big bowl games tomorrow with the playoffs. NFL, that big 14-game card here on Sunday, as well as all his NBA, all his NHL, all his college hoops. We got a good college basketball card again tomorrow into the new year as well. So get those New Year's Day picks. It won't be college football this year, but anyway, it'll be NFL because we got 14 NFL games. We have NBA as well as college hoops, NHL as well. I believe we have an outdoor game, Ramon, if I'm not mistaken here.
Yeah, we'll need the 7-day pass is what we'll need for that. But,
that's right.
Yeah, well, not for the game you mentioned, but I mean just to get involved in those bowl games too. I should have mentioned that because we do know that they're gonna play on the 2nd here. But yeah, they'll have the Winter Classic going off as well. So there's plenty of action and. Right now, no better time to hook up with me if you want to experience what my hot streaks are all about. Tony, you've seen them. They've come around. It's kind of like a solstice a little bit. Maybe it takes a while to get there, but kind of lasts a long time when I really got it going. Hopefully we're in that groove. right now. Usually I can put up the number there and keep it up there 2 dimes or better over the period there when you look at the leaderboards. And oh, hey Tony, if I could just mention too, and I know we'll talk about the other things that we do, but I want to mention that also I run down the leaderboard each and every day. Oh, now over at Tony'sPicks.com, right at the top of the home page. If you click on that, I do give you a free pick there every day, but I also talk about all the cappers and how they're doing. Now, granted, it sounds like a commercial for myself the last couple of days, but I don't care about that. I just talk about which cappers are hot on Tony'sPicks.com and explain a little bit about our process on how the leaderboard works and how our plays are basically based on a to win 100 basis. That makes it easy to keep score over at Tony'sPicks.com. Your bets may vary as far as size are concerned, but I just go over who are our top handicappers over the last 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, whoever's hot. And I do that every day, 7 days a week at Tony'sPicks.com, right on top of the homepage. And we also have another embedded video on there from one of our sponsors where I give another free pick. So, Tony, you talk about all the free picks we give, and we'll talk about it here right now. I should put it up there with that information. But just more plays. If you want more plays, and I've mentioned it because I've actually been killing those plays over the last week or so. I can't miss on those either. The free plays on the leaderboard update and our sponsor update on the site. Been hitting those. I don't know. There's a winning streak. I know that. Might be 4 or 5 days on each one of those picks. Sometimes it's some obscure college games, but like I said, it doesn't matter, right? As long as they're winners.
That's right, as long as they're winners. I think I finally got that corrected there. So take a look here over at Tony'sPicks.com here. I don't think I can see. I can't scroll with this when I have the screen embedded. Maybe I can do this here. Let me double check here. All right, I think we got it set to roll here. All right, so we'll scroll down here. This is Tony, and then of course there you go. Oh, it's not matched up here. I'm scrolling on Tony's Picks.
Well, no problem.
All right.
We covered it one time as far as with our sponsor video, but more importantly, I wanted everyone to take note of that leaderboard video, right? And take a look at that every day over at Tony's Picks. I go over the leaderboard every day and talk about who's on top. And if it's me, I just say, hey, I'm on top of the leaderboard. But if it's one of my cohorts here on the site, we talk about how well they're doing as well. And you see, Pravi, he's kind of been like us with high volume, and he's been knocking it out of the park as well. So it doesn't matter who's up there. I just say, hey, here's Pravi, here's Collins, here's Ben, here's Hollywood Sam, the GM, Tony T, whoever's hot, right? We've even broken it down sometimes on our show, saying, hey, look at Tony, he's hit 9 out of his last 10 totals or whatever. But on the video, I pretty much just go over the last 7 days, last 24 hours, last 30 days, whoever's up there, and we have a video covering that each day. So at the end of the video, I give another free pick. So it's a good little video. It's just 3 minutes long on average, and it goes over our handicapper leaderboard each and every day at Tony's Picks.
All right, that's right. Check it over at Tony'sPicks.com, and I'm going to go ahead and go over the full screen again if I can find it again. And we won't hear the receiver Ramon, but you'll hear me. And just scroll down here, you'll be able to find the free pick of the day. And of course, that's Ramon. Get the update here, and also a little pick from Ramon here up there on the site. And of course, we'll play it for just a second.
Hi everyone, it's Ramon Scott, and I've got.
There you go. So you're going to go back and go push the play button right on our homepage. Get Ramon's daily free pick of the day. And of course, he does cover the leaderboards over at Tony'sPicks.com. Go check it out if you would. I think he's got one also in the members area, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go hit the members area. There's so much development going on here. It's hard to keep up with everything, but I think the development. I think this is what we were looking at right here was on the leaderboard. This is the leaderboard update here on the. So there's 2 videos. There's one at the home page, and this is the leaderboard update. This is on our members page. So our members page will give
Ramon Scott here for Tony'sPicks.com. We
so
provide
that's what you
winning
want to check
information
out.
From our expert.
So when you go over to the members area, you'll find Ramon's leaderboard update. That's where we have that on our members area. Just click the premium pick tab at Tony'sPicks.com, and that will take you there to Ramon's play of the day. And of course, if you're a member, this is again another This is again. I don't know what this is. It's just this like it's duplicated from what we're doing before. But anyway, this is well, my GM calls it our members page, but it looks like our homepage. But I still haven't figured out what it is. I really so because here's our homepage, right? Looks just the same. Looks the same to me. Maybe a little different. But anyway, our GM says we need it, so I guess we'll roll with it. So click the Premium Picks tab, and that will take you to our members page, and that's when we'll be able to see the daily updated from Ramon, and of course he'll have the free pick for you there as well over on the site, as well as the homepage. We have a free pick up there too, so check it out over on the site. And of course we actually a little bit of a design there where it's a 2-column there, and we've got the pick ticker, we got the column there. I like the pick ticker right there. We got to get the pick ticker higher, but anyway, there you go. We got this ugly text in the center which we got to correct, but anyway, a little more style to this, needs a little more style, I think. So we'll figure out how we can get that. But anyway, check it out. But just check out the video there on the members page with Ramon Scott. All right, Ramon, I know we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Pick for Ramon. And of course, the morning's team break today. A lot of content up there, a lot of NFL, a lot of college bowls, and you come back tomorrow with another marathon show.
Yeah, don't hesitate to join and be a member. That doesn't mean you have to buy any picks even. Just sign up with us, especially if you're a big follower of ours or fans of ours, because we do have some things in the work for all of our followers and members, if you will. So we just want you to be involved. You don't have to, doesn't mean you have to go in and buy any picks to be a member, but if you need to see that video or whatever, or cruise around a little bit, just go ahead and get joined up with us here at Tony's Picks. We don't charge you just to sign up, certainly. So yeah, Tony, my free pick today over there, another one of my free picks. It's going to come to you in the game between Colgate and Loyola, Maryland. Guess what, Tony? I've been hitting those out of the park too on those social media picks over on Tony's Picks, Ramon. So got another pick there today. Colgate versus Loyola, Maryland. Take a look at that one if you want another free winner. And we'll be back tomorrow with another big show. We're gonna take a break again for the holiday on our show on Sunday. Just enjoy the new year, or maybe the night before, but we'll be back on Monday after that. But with another big show tomorrow, going to cover a lot of action, more bowls, NBA, NHL, college ball, and also NFL, the late card for Sunday. I did see the news come in. It looks like official now, Tony, with Hurts. Looks like he'll probably miss the final, or miss this game in week 17 game here, this week's game. So looks like that information just came across. I think we knew that might be the case. I guess he still could play, but might be missing this one against the Saints. That was while we were on the air here. So make sure you check us out though on the show. We like to give out all that information, try to give out as much detail as possible given the time frame. A little bit less with such a heavy load, try to get the show in at least 2 hours. But a great thing about it is it seems like everybody hangs out for those whole 2 hours. You would think that, man, talking about sports betting, the views would tail off. Yeah, people probably come and go looking for their favorite sports, but really starting to rack up, Tony, between 4 and 5 dozen people constantly in there. And that's been really, really nice to see that people are taking a liking to the show. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that usually ends up being, 300, 400 views of the show in its entirety by the time it's up on YouTube and everything, and on Twitter as well. I noticed when I send it out, usually get about 75 to 100 views on the Twitter. So,
yeah, that's good. I got to figure out the tech issue with our Twitter account. Going on my broadcasting software, there's some glitch there getting to Twitter. But anyway, you get the morning steam on Twitter, but all our videos are up on Twitter, by the way, too. So if you miss again, if you're looking for a game for the morning steam, you can always go into Google search or YouTube search, type team versus team, then type in morning steam, and Ramon and Mindy's pick, their morning steam pick comes up right up. So check it out. I know they missed the day-to-day, but there are some bowl coverage for today's bowl games. early NFL up there as well. And tomorrow they'll continue on with their bowl coverage as well as NFL, and mix in the day in NBA and college hoops and NHL. It's gonna be a big day. 9 a.m. Eastern time, morning steam. Tune into Mindy and Ramon. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you on the show. Have a great new year, and we'll talk to you again in 2023.
Have a great weekend, Tony. Let's keep the winning going. Yep, a big weekend.
Big weekend indeed. Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're with you here, Game Day Picks, Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. We give you a lot of picks on this show. And on our channel, tons of free picks. Boy, just about every pick the morning's team gives out, every pick that I do, there's tons of free picks on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Also, when we're live, we want you guys live with us. So when we give you the picks, we have an audience. We have someone to talk to, like Alexis Live out there and more. So if you would, we appreciate that. I know a lot of you are at work this time of the afternoon, but we appreciate you tuning in while you're at work. And I just want to remind you of our podcast. When you're driving home, you can listen to every show on our podcast. It's Tony's Picks Podcast, available on all major platforms. Just search Tony's Picks in your favorite platform. It will come up there. You can see the art there. Just subscribe. And when we put every pick that we upload to YouTube, every show we upload to YouTube is on our podcast to make it convenient for everyone there to listen to. And for those of you that are driving, coming home, you can listen to yesterday's morning's team and get a lot of the NFL and bowl games coming up for this weekend, or this show, or any of the picks that we have up there. Just take a listen there. We have a lot of content. Just like it's pretty much a podcast of our YouTube channel. It's pretty much what it is. So loaded with free picks. If it's more convenient for you to listen that way at the gym, you're walking your dog, you're driving, you're a trucker. We love our truckers out there. Stay safe on the road this holiday period and go ahead and listen to us there. All right, let's continue here on Game Day Picks. Let's pick up my game. Today we're going to go here to the NBA as we have the Nuggets taking on the Heat. Nuggets laying 4. The total sits here at 223. We're going to be here on the side of the home team. This Denver Nuggets team has been playing pretty well at home. I've got issues with them on the road, but they're playing well. They're enough at home here to take them in this side. You know, what are we looking at with Denver? They've got 6 straight home wins. At home, they're averaging 118 points per 100 possessions in that 6-game period, just allowing 109 points here per 100 possessions there. And also, too, when you're looking at, I know there are some issues here. We'll go over it here. Gordon, questionable. Brown, questionable. Murray, questionable. But again, there's a lot of guard depth here for this Denver Nuggets team, so I'm okay. As long as we got Jokic in the game, I'm all right. Still dealing with the questions here with Martin here for Miami. As well. Butler is on the injury report, but listed as probable. So that's something to keep an eye on there. But again, the way that Denver's playing in that altitude, in that high elevation, it's really always a tough spot for this Eastern Conference teams that visit there once a year. So we're going to be looking here at the Nuggets. I know the Heat have been pretty good on the road here, but I'm just going to go with this Denver home form, which has been performing well. And I don't like the Eastern Conference teams going into this venue here. Nuggets laying 4 here against the Heat. This one will have a start time here of 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right, guys, check out that Tony'sPicks.com. A lot of content up there for you right now. I've got, let's see here. Let me go up to my profile page right now, and we'll take a look here. After we hit the refresh, I'll pull down the game odds here. We've got up there a 3-pack here from the NBA up there right now on the board. Also, my best bet of the day is up there as well. So take a peek right there for Friday's action. As a best bet is up on the board here from for today's action. And I also have my 3-pack here from. Actually, my best bet is from college football today. College football bowl game best bet, as well as my 3-pack from the NBA still remaining. I had an early action today. I had the Sun Bowl that's in progress. I had a winner today already with the Pittsburgh in college hoops. And I have my late 3-pack tonight going off in the NBA. So that's up there, as well as the best bet here from the college football bowls. So go ahead and get signed up. My long-term pass, you get my 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select. We go to my handicapper page and you make that purchase. And don't forget that promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access my page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and then when you land on my page, get signed up. Of course, you see the picks in red. Those are profit guarantee, meaning the must win or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is profit guarantee. The ones in yellow are not, because they're already sold at a great discount with those long-term passes. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, let's continue on here on the Game Day Pick Show. As we're ready to roll here with the recap, it was just Ramon and I. Mindy with the afternoon off today. Ramon was on 76ers and the Pelicans under 229. I'll be on the Nuggets laying the 4 here against the Heat. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition here of Game Day Picks. Be sure to tune in again on Monday live here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Tony's Picks. They'll give out the live picks for you on the Monday action. So make sure you like and subscribe We greatly appreciate that. As I said, tons of free picks on our channel. We like you live on our show or live even on Morning Steam, so you can interact with all the personalities on the show with your picks. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. Let's go ahead and bring in Ramon today. We're going to wave goodbye, guys. You guys have a great night. Make it a happy new year. We'll talk with you again in 2023 here on Game Day.